Frank wants to know, should my real estate agent know escrow paperwork? So I'm taking it as a rant. My guess is Frank had a real estate agent that didn't know escrow paperwork, and
not this Frank.
He felt like that's stupid. So what do you think? Is it the responsibility of a real estate agent to understand all the paperwork in escrow? I mean, isn't it?
Yeah, they should have a basic understanding. I'm sure from the lending side also, you guys don't know, because every escrow department has different versions of their escrow instructions. When the basics are the same.
Why would that be?
Well, because some of the verbiage and different programs. I've seen escrow instructions that are 15 pages long, and other companies are 5 pages long. Basically, the true escrow instruction is the purchase agreement itself, and that's where they're translating everything over. Everything else is generally the same, but some companies, for whatever, have all this additional verbiage, and one sentence ends up many paragraphs for who knows why.
Basically, they got
your agent should have a basic understanding of it, but you as a buyer really don't. Like I've said before, with every aspect of this, be involved, get engaged. You should have a pretty good relationship with the escrow company and the escrow officer yourself. Okay, you should.
Really?
Absolutely.
Are you advocating that the buyer be involved
all the way through,
talking to the escrow person? Don't they not? The escrow people don't like that, do they? They don't want the buyers calling.
They have every right to do so, because escrow is working for them just as much as they're working.
They
for
also
the
have the
seller.
right to choose their escrow and title company, but that never happens either.
Well, and I think from my experience, the escrow companies want the buyers involved too, because they don't want any issues or any complaints later that buyer didn't understand what they were signing, what was going on, and.
Escrow's like the communication hub, so they're going to encourage all open lines of communication.
Really?
And also to add another layer of just of that, an experienced agent is going to have a really good idea of the entire process. Just because the escrow instructions are 15 pages instead of 5, an experienced agent will know what should be contained in those.
The process is the same.
So yes, if your agent looks like gives you dog face when they get the escrow instructions, they might this might be their first rodeo.
And I was going to say, multiple transactions, you basically get to know what escrow instructions are about really well anyway.
That's if you're there, right? Because some agents don't show up during that escrow.
You know how I learned a lot is when things go wrong. And then you learn about that. No, seriously, something. And there's always a hiccup.
You've learned a lot.
There's always a hiccup on some sort of end of the process, and so you figure out how to solve it. And that's usually the best way that you learn. And after being in the business for so long, you're going to see that quite often.
And part of a good agent for the buyer also is everything that escrow basically is going to copy to the buyer. I have them copy to me too, and I always want to have a sit down about everything, pretty much, even the loan docs. I'm not going to go through and read that phone book with them, but I'm going to sit there and say, okay, you're talking to the lender, but you can ask me third-party questions too, because I have a general idea about what loan docs are too, just like you guys aren't dealing a whole lot with the purchase offer all the time, but you have a general idea of what it's about.
Are you supposed to answer those questions?
About the loan docs?
Yeah.
Well, some basics. If somebody asks me, what is
But are you
APR?
I mean, are you you know how all the rules are, you can only say so much, but can you, as on the real estate side, can you answer loan doc questions, and on the loan side, can you answer real estate doc questions?
You can explain what this is. So if they say, what does this section mean? Well, that section means this. Now, what it specifically says, you might want to consult your agent.
If I feel that my buyer doesn't understand, right there, that second, I'm getting conference call on with the lender, and we're going to have a round table, because I want my buyer to understand what's going on.
That's part of having a good team.
Bam.
Yeah. Bam. You're not fired.